pick one. I think I played the wrong one and I apologize. But you guys, welcome. Miss Host, tell them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the medium frequency. Today, Gwen is going to go ahead and interview me so that I can share more about who I am and all the fun things.
There you go. But everybody, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I know we'll have people that always come in a little after we start. So to get it started, this is a fairly still new show. And we were so happy when Raven said she'd come on. We clicked at the Connecticut Paracon this year, and that's kind of how it came about. I said you would be fit in perfect, and when she was ready, and she came on. So, and she's had awesome guests. Oh, and my fire alarm went off for no reason. So there's some of that. But we were talking about curses on the show before this, so things happen. Mm-hmm. So how I usually start out, and I'm honored that Raven asked me to interview her. How I usually start out is just to say, Raven, tell us who you are. Who is Raven?
Well, that's a loaded answer. Oh my goodness. Hey. So I live in Salem, Massachusetts, and I'm a psychic medium out here. I have the wonderful Medium Frequency show, thanks to All Access Network and Gwen and everybody. So I'm very, very grateful to be a part of the network. I work with paranormal teams throughout the United States, and also in residential homes. I'll go into different locations and assess things, but then I reach out to others for specific topics that are outside of my knowledge area, especially when I see something that is not something I necessarily work with. So that's really important to me. I do past life regressions. I do past life readings. I do mediumship. I do tarot. I teach classes, so I really enjoy doing that. I go to paranormal conferences, and I have all kinds of things that I bring. I help with healing work, Reiki. I work with animals as much as I work with humans, so both here and the other side. So I get the opportunities to be able to connect to the other side for family members who have lost their pets that are still considered their kids.
Yes. So go back. How did you get started, or did you have some experience that got you started when you were young?
Yeah. I wasn't raised in a traditional home where mediumship and that kind of thing was accepted. But there was an unfortunate situation where a girl in my junior high class was murdered, and I started seeing her after she passed away, and it opened up other avenues of mediumship for me as well. But then when I was younger, I also saw fairies and other things, so that was a thing as well. But what really started the mediumship side of things was her passing and me seeing her afterwards and not knowing how to help her, and really wanting to be able to help her, and sleeping in my parents' room afraid because I didn't understand what I was seeing. But over time, I actually learned more about these innate natural abilities that came forward at that point, to where I was able to get to where I am now.
Yep. Awesome. Now, did you tell them, hey, I see, we'll call her Jane for the sake of a name. Did you go to mom and dad or grandma, any of your family, and say, hey, I saw Jane. I saw her.
Yes. Yeah, they thought I was overreacting, and that I was just probably seeing illusions and that kind of thing. But before that time period, I hadn't really seen the dead as far as I remembered. So it was after her passing. And so many of the people that come to me, they come for, from all different stories and situations.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the spirits that will come to me in those kinds of ways have passed away in some really sad ways.
Oh, I'm sorry for that.
Mm-hmm.
So did they catch who did this to her? Just do you know if they ever caught the person that?
So they thought they did. They thought they caught this person. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Stephanie Ann Crow case, and that's in Escondido, California. It was in.
It does sound familiar.
I was in junior high, so they thought they had captured the right person, and then which was a transient, and then there were some cases that ended up piling up afterwards to where the transient is no longer considered the one who essentially stabbed her to death. So the only reason, from what I remember, is they found her blood on his sweater, or on a sweatshirt that he was wearing. But they also had at the time accused her brother and his two friends. But they were interrogated without any kind of attorney or anything present.
Oh,
So her case is unsolved at this point in time.
that's sad. Now, have you ever thought about going maybe back to the area or trying to do something about it?
Um,
Hard question. I'm sorry. I'm
uh-huh.
sorry. I know you're such a sweet soul that you would want, even now, you would want to get to the bottom of it.
Of course I do. Of course
Yeah.
I do. But what I do also know is that I'm not the right person for that specific case. And sometimes that is how it happens. Like when somebody is unfortunately killed, sometimes certain mediums will be used for different kinds of cases. But I was a child when it had occurred. I've gone back because it was in the city that I was born and raised in. And I have been by her gravesite. I have thought about it, but because she used to be with me all the time when I was younger. I like to think she's kind of a guardian angel for me now. She was not
Yes.
a nice person in junior high.
No.
She was actually a bully. She was not a friend of mine. It was an act of kindness that made me think that perhaps she was coming from a place of, pain that I wasn't aware of in some of her actions. And she had shown me an act of kindness, which was amazing. And I realized there's probably more to the situation. And shortly after that, I came back to school the following Monday, and I had gone into the girls' locker room to get ready for PE, and there was another bully there that was unfortunately laughing about the situation, and it made me very upset. It really, really, like, I was really upset. And she's like, "What do you care? Like, she didn't even like you." And I said, "It doesn't matter. That's a human being that you're talking about."
You're right.
So I was pretty upset about the situation. And that very night is when I first started seeing her. So, yeah.
For you guys who just tuned in, thank you. And my friend Pat, he's a jokester, and he shows up for us. He said every time I listen, something happens. Your smoke alarm went off, which it did for no reason. It's been doing that quite a bit. But we were talking about some serious stuff about curses and stuff, and he says, and my clocks went back, and oh well, of course they did. Time change. But this episode, she asked me to interview her, and so you guys could get to know her. And I was asking her about how all, when she first knew things. And a girl in her class had, let's say, died. To get a little lighter here, had died, and she came to Raven. Did you ever hear her, or did you just see her?
Oh, no, I heard her. I heard her. At first, it sounded like water, like somebody was trying to talk to me through water.
Mm-hmm.
And because my family didn't really understand it, or approve of that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going to a friend who happened to understand metaphysical stuff and those kinds of
Wow.
things, because she was born and raised in that, and started to, hello, and started to really work on communicating. And all of a sudden I could hear her very clear, like crystal. And
Nice.
so for a very long time growing up, she was with me. Now, when you talk about, have I ever gone back and wanted to solve the case? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But some mediums are not meant for certain cases. And
Right.
because there's such a sensitive emotional attachment to the situation, it is far better for someone who is not emotionally attached to work in that kind of environment. And then also, she told me that she didn't want me to work on it specifically, and I trust what the spirits tell me. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, we do. Well, as you must have stuck in her head. In my head, I'm thinking that somehow you did something. She's so. If you've never met Raven, she is. I say that she's the sweetest soul, and she just blushes, but she is. She just, once you meet her, if you don't like Raven, there's something wrong with you, because she's sweet and she doesn't judge or any. She loves everybody. So, but she works in Salem. She lives there. We're about to go there, so I get to see her again. I'm happy about that. And she works different things, but tell me about the pets. You don't hear, that's not something that a whole lot of people are able to do. I mean, let me say specialty. That's a specialty, because as much as we want to, we may see them, and I see mine. And in the last year, I've lost more than my share. But I can't communicate with them. I can't control it, anything like that. And honestly, I don't know. I don't think I know anybody but you that has been able to really do that. How did that come about?
So, I mean, that started when I was really young. I've always had a strong affection for pets, and I've always understood them. But for how they communicate with me, it's just like spirits do when they're on the other side. They talk to me
Wow.
through images, or they talk to me, and I'll hear a subtle voice, or a high-pitched voice, depending on the fluffy.
Yeah.
So it just kind of developed. One of the things that I would suggest for anybody that's looking at connecting with their pets a little bit more, spend some time, like when they're calm and they're settled, just spend some time like looking at them and seeing what images come up when you look at them in the eyes, and what emotions come up, and you'll start to really get a vibe of like how to connect with them specifically. So it's kind of similar to how we get to know our pets, It's one of those things that when they're living, like, we get that opportunity, and they always tell us when something's going on,
They do.
whether it's through their meows or their barks or their noises of different kinds.
And
But
you can tell. You can tell if something's wrong. They have a certain. Now, Raven also knows that I lost my cat, who is my familiar. For judge me if you like, but that's okay. And yeah, it's still raw. But I think that she has come to Raven because she comes around more when I'm talking or messaging with Raven. So I think that you may not know that it's mine, but I really think, I really do. I really think she has a connection with you. And I'm sorry. The Enfield House, Connecticut, he had been on a Shane show, and he's coming back. Him and his family. That I am so sad about that. We've had there's been a lot of pets within our metaphysical, paranormal type people that in the last year, and I don't know, what's your opinion? Do you think that maybe it's like we were talking about the flares and stuff, the sun flares? Do you think it's
Yeah,
something like that?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. Now, when it comes to the connections with pets that have passed over,
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple that have told me that it has to do with those sun flares. Some of them have had told me other situations in regards to that. But it's definitely part of it.
Yeah. A lot of us have. But do you remember your first one that tried to communicate with? Bet you remember. I know you
Bosco.
probably.
Bosco.
Oh.
He was a German Shepherd Rottweiler that we had. And when he was really young, like he would just like run around and, want to play all the time. And then when he started getting sick, when he was older, I was already out of my parents' house at that point. But when he started getting sick, I would get images of him. And I was like, I need to go back home and I need to see him. And I was right. He unfortunately was about to pass away, but he was also very old.
Yeah.
And he had lived a good life. My family did take care of him, and he was a good boy.
No.
So he was one of the first. Now, my most strongest connection that I've had outside of him is with my cat Salem. However, he is alive.
Wow.
um, he is alive and he is in Arizona and doing really well. And I talk to him on the phone via video all the time. And I go and visit him, and we have the most beautiful, strongest connection I could ask for.
That is awesome. It really is. I guess he's missing you and he's trying
Yeah.
to send it. Oh,
Yeah. I'll
yeah.
end up calling. I'll end up calling the connection that I have that is taking care of him and loving him, and he'll sit on the phone with me and just look at me and send me messages, and I'll be like, okay, and then I'll know what to send him and what to do. And so I send these packages or these small items, and
Aw,
he is just so happy.
well, in a happy home. Being taken care of, and that's the best thing. That
Mm-hmm.
really is. Now, we were also talking about that your first, I guess, person, your first animal. Do you remember when you were little? Did you have an imaginary? I guess
Yeah,
they did. You do you
I
remember
did.
them very much? Little.
Um, his name was Mark, and he was 9 years old, and I was 10. 10 going on 11, and we had a really close connection, and he told me he was living, but he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know that he wasn't living. I thought he was a real, person somewhere, and it was a really good friendship. And when I turned, what was it, 14 or 15, he ended up disappearing.
Oh,
Yeah, but he was one of my closest friends.
then he helped you get through some of the.
He did.
Yeah, I don't know how to put it. Some things that happen to you when you're younger, you need that little, and I think that's why some of us get them and some of us don't, and some of us don't even remember. I have
Right.
found out that sometimes. Yeah, that's very interesting. So
He supported me through a lot, and we went on adventures together and saw some pretty cool things, and I would even see him in my dreams. It was pretty cool. I never talked to my parents about it, but yeah.
I get that. I didn't have that connection with my family either. They were like, no, no, and it stuck with me for years. So you at least now, how old were you when you, how do I say, openly started giving readings, even if it wasn't your profession? When did you start doing that, or
Oh my
any of
gosh,
your gifts?
15,
15? Oh,
around
okay.
15. Mm-hmm.
That's young. That's good though. I mean, you've been at it. And I'm not saying you're old, so please don't think that. But that's young. That is young. That
Yeah.
really is to Do you remember your, I guess, first real reading type thing? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was at a Renaissance fair
Really? Well,
where
that's a good place for it.
my first like reading that I received that I remember substantially was with a gypsy. They called her, now a lot of people don't like to be called gypsies, but for Renaissance fair, that's what they went by.
Mm-hmm.
This specific group, and I had my very first reading, and she told me I was going to be going on quite the journey, and boy, was she right.
See,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. Now, for those of you that don't know, Raven is so talented. She went over it. I know she can do readings as a psychic medium. I know she can do pets. I know she can do past life regression and past life readings, because when I hook up with her and Salem, I'm going to get her to do that, hopefully, if she's willing and everything fits. So, and she's welcome to video mine if she's into that, or document it, whatever she would like to do. So I'm very curious, because I am so close to most of the people that I don't think, how can I put this? When somebody does it, I've had people do this, that, and the other, and I've actually started to remember that I need a little help. And I feel like Raven is going to be the one. So if any of you guys have any kind of want a reading or something, why don't we go ahead and put it out? How can they get you? What's the best way?
There are a few ways. You can reach me at themediumfrequency@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Raven Wolfe with an E at the end. You can come to the Salem Paracon, and I will be there on November 15th.
Yep. Come see Raven.
Come see me in Salem. You can also find me on Instagram. My Instagram name is Salem in the Moonlight.
Nice. I like it. Now, are you on YouTube also, or am I?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
If you are looking for that, that would be the medium frequency.
Okay. Yep. And we're about to get her on Spotify with the shows and anything else she wants to put on there. So look for that. I just got off my journey, or part of it, and I am a little behind on getting everything just like I want it, because I'm a little OCD with my stuff. So, but look for that, and there's going to be big things to come for that. Now, what the Salem Paracon we're talking about is going to be on November 15th. It's a one-day event. And there's going to be so many folks there, but Raven, she's going to be there. I'm going to be there, but not like doing readings and stuff like she does. Also, just tons of people. We will play the commercial again before we end, for those of you who have not seen it. But yeah, if you need something to do, if you want to do, or you think it's interesting, please come out, because you will not regret it. There are tons of people. We're going to have panels. Raven, if Thomas Gormley, who and Charles Rosenay, please tell me I didn't say his name wrong. They're I want to say putting this on, but they're in charge of, not charge, but this is their creation. So, and it's been, I'm not sure how many years, but I'm not sure at all, but it's going to be nice. They're going to have different stuff. And Raven, I'm sure she'll be on at least one panel, and you'll get to interact with them. So, so let's see. We went over the past life regression. How did that come about? Did you know you could do it, or did it kind of just happen?
So I went to a class on Akashic Records, and I found that it came easily for me. And I was like, well, cool. I want to go ahead and see what I can do to help other people with this. So I started reading more books and practicing more, and really diving into the different aspects of being able to make sure that people are safe and feeling protected as they're going through this process, because sometimes there are some hard things that come up, and then sometimes there's some really happy things. But with past life regression, I don't just go back and be like, oh, there's a past life, cool. With the regression, what I'm doing is I'm taking an individual back to lifetimes that are currently affecting them in this lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at having them take a look at where the cords can be released from that past life if there are not so positive effects that are happening in this lifetime that are not based in any specific situation where there are reasons why they have that fear in this lifetime. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's very impractical fears. So, for example, if somebody has a fear of water, I'll give that example, fear of water, but it's an unrealistic fear. Well, we go back and we look at that and we see what happened in that specific life to cause this issue. And then we do a release. We do an energetic release from that past life. I take you to where you're able to talk to that previous life version of yourself in a safe environment. And there are some steps that we take within that will help with healing, help with that, those aspects of, coming back into this frame, into mm-hmm. this energy, this timeline, and be able to move forward from some of those things. I'm not saying that it'll be fixed really quickly, but it will definitely help the process if it does have a past life resonance. If it's something that's created by, trauma or other things that have happened in this lifetime, I may recommend a couple of different people to speak to before doing a past life regression in that way.
And see, that's good. Everybody should, if you can't handle something, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask somebody else who specializes in different stuff. That's what makes everybody good. Some people will say they can handle anything, but you need backup. You really do. So that's great. Have you ever had, how can I put this? I know you studied, you had your class, but did you ever have anybody do that for you?
Yes. So my very first previous past, not in the way that I do it, mm-hmm. but I did see previous lifetimes. And one of the previous lifetimes, the very first one that I saw was really sad, actually. I was living with a family during a famine, and I was very quiet, which is funny because I'm quiet now. Well, wait till you get to know me. That's different.
Yeah, I was about to say you are, but well, yeah.
I am mostly like quiet and reserved until I'm not. But in that specific lifetime, I would say I was about 12 years old, 11, 12 years old in that life. And I was wearing all black, and I had long, dark brown hair, and I had like the double braids, and I had freckles on my face, and I was wearing this black smock with like a white lining. I almost feel like in that specific lifetime, I might have been part of an Amish family. In that specific situation, and it helped me to understand where some of the things that I was doing at that time in my specific life on this plane was being affected, because I came up with the idea, well, let me go back to that lifetime and let me talk to that version of myself. Let me see what messages she has for me, and let me give her the validation that she wasn't able to get when she was alive.
Right.
And so we were, two different versions of me, previous life and this life, were able to create a healing of sorts. And so
good.
Some of those things that I had that were coming up, they're non-existent now, and I have an appreciation for that lifetime and not sadness that wells up within me.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. And then of the past lives that you know of, is there one where, I want to say the happiest, but maybe the most fulfilling, rewarding? And I don't mean
Yeah.
money or anything like that. I mean, is there something
No,
that sticks
I
out?
actually lived. I was taken back to the. I went back to this one lifetime. I was about 65 years old.
Oh,
I had 3 grandkids. I had 2 children. Um, I lived in a country house, and it was a very simple life. And there were chickens, and there were like we had a little like chickens and dogs that were running back and forth and cats. It was like a little mini farm
oh,
type situation. And I remember the very last day of my life taking it with my family, being around me, taking a deep breath and saying, I, I was blessed every single moment of this life. All the good, all the life changing experiences was worth it. And I remember taking my last breath and going to the other side from this lifetime. And that gave me a sense of knowing that when this lifetime is over,
hmm,
I have a lot of amazing things ahead of me.
yep, that's exactly right. You do. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered, and maybe you can answer this for me. Have you ever seen a past life of yours or somebody else's where they look similar that they do now? Have you ever seen
Yes.
that? Have
Yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah. And it's kind of funny how that happens frequently, where I'll see at least one similarity, whether it's the eyes or the
Mhm,
nose or the energy vibration
mhm.
of that person's being, or sometimes it's just a personality characteristic that comes up, and I'm going, I see
There it
that.
is. There it is. Yeah, I've always been curious about that part too. I don't know if anybody else has, but I know I've like I said, I know some of mine, so it makes it kind of a little bit. But I think everybody, if they believe in it or even think they believe in it, I think they have questions, kind of like, you know. Now, do you think that we come back quickly? Um,
Not always.
Not
No.
always.
My From what I have seen, even with my own near death experience, um, I noticed that we have sometimes we have choice as to whether we're going to cross back over right away, come
Mhm.
back over to this side right away, or if we're going to do other things. For example, I have seen become guardian angels for different people that are not necessarily related to them in this lifeline, but in other lifelines they were, and they're part of their soul tribe. Or I will see that when it comes to that, sometimes they just need some time to really process their lifeline that they had. So different angels, different beings work with these people, and I've experienced it on the astral plane, as well as like when I've been in these meditations and when I had my near death experience. I could have chosen not to come back, and I chose to come back.
So you get a choice. That's interesting. Now
Not
I know,
always, but yeah, I did.
yeah. That it's one of those questions where, and I know I'm not pushing anybody to believe or not,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm all like, you believe what you do, and I do, I do, because I have, funniest thing, I have seen one that's way, way back. And when I say way back, I mean way back. And it just came to me like somebody dropped it on my face. Like, bam. Have you ever encountered something like that? Has it ever just bam, and all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, just for no reason?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I have to assess in those moments whether an individual is ready to hear about it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a situation where their mindset is just not open to hearing those messages yet. And
Right.
so that needs to be honored and respected.
Yes.
Unless there have been maybe 2 or 3 instances in my life where I've been like, nope, I gotta say something because it was an energy when it comes to like safety for that individual.
Right.
And the individual was definitely contemplating either going to a place or making a choice that would be very detrimental to them. So I don't usually go and approach people. They need to come to me if they want my
Right.
help, unless a ghost, or I should say a spirit, a soul is really like pushing hard. I'm generally not going to approach somebody without them coming to me.
Right. No, I think that's with a lot of people, but there are some people that I've been told you have to watch what you say.
Right.
And somebody explained it to me. If you do a reading and say, you know, somebody's going to fall and break their arm. Well, if you tell them, what if they do something different and get hurt worse?
Right.
Be careful. That's what everybody, and somebody said that, and I was like, that does make sense, because sometimes it doesn't feel right. So what have we missed? I know you, past life regressions, past life viewings, I think you called it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you do tarot cards too. Was that hard for you to learn?
Yes. There are things that come to me very naturally when it comes to readings. So like I get downloads of information on top of what the basis of a card is, but to learn the basis of the card, it took me a little while. But what I learned later on is know the basis of the card and know the basis of how you're going to read it, but then also let spirit guide you with more of the messages that are needed.
Right. So what am I missing? I know I'm missing something. Somebody tell me. I know you're so talented and you can do so much, and you do so much for people, not just readings and stuff. So what am I missing?
Did I talk to you? I don't know if I ever told you this story, but this is the first time I'm really willing to share it publicly.
Okay. That would be
awesome.
awesome.
When growing up, I had a family situation, and I love my family. I do. But we had some rough situations, and I left home when I was 18. And I got incredibly sick. And I ended up with, I didn't know it at the time, but I had pneumonia. And I was mad at the world at that time. I was very, very mad at the world, trying to figure out what my purpose was here. And just being ready to throw my hands up in the air and say, whatever, right? Because that's what we sometimes do when we're younger.
Yes.
And I was at the beach, and I remember the sun was starting to set, and I went to this point in Oceanside where they have like a whole bunch of rocks, and it was under the pier, and the waves were coming in and going out. And I remember screaming and yelling, what is the point of this life? Why am I here? And I remember turning around, and there was this, I believe it was from what it was an angel. I really do think it was an angel, because I saw wings. There was nobody else on the beach at this specific point in time, surprisingly. And this man had come up to me, and he asked me, he said, you do have a purpose in life, and your purpose is to help others and not to give up and to keep fighting. You'll find your way. And I remember falling, and I couldn't see this person's face. And I remember falling into this person's arms, and I was bawling my eyes out. And I remember blacking out. I completely blacked out. Well, I woke up in a hospital that was nearby. And I looked at the nurses and I said, hey, did somebody bring me in? And they said, yeah, it was, it was a man, but he already left. And I said, he didn't leave a name or phone number or anything. And they said, no. And thunder.
Oh, I was like, huh, what's up?
Yeah. They, he had left, but there was this part of me that felt like it had healed. And there was this part of me that was like, okay, maybe there is more to why I'm here. And I had been out, apparently I had almost died while I was in the hospital. I was out for almost 2 days, 3 days,
Wow.
something like that, when I had woken up. And that image of that man, and I, with the brightest wings I've ever seen. I've never seen wings like that before. Not like that. Just wrapping around me. There's no question in my mind that that was a real angel.
Mm-hmm.
No question whatsoever. And so that's what really, we were talking in the beginning about what really started me on my path. That's what really started me on my path. I mean, yes, I had metaphysical and paranormal experiences as a child growing up. But that individual, or that being that did save my life, that was what really made me realize there's more out there than what I'm seeing. And that's what helped me to start believing in things that were paranormal, and start believing in some of those other aspects of life outside of the fact that I could see the dead at that point. And I came into more of an acceptance of myself, and the fact that it was okay to be different, and it was okay to not necessarily fit into a specific crowd, but that I would find the people that I needed to help, and find the friends that I needed to have to help me grow, but I would also be able to be there for him. So I got up again and I started fighting again, and fighting, to get to a point of where I could really learn as much as I could. And I started diving into metaphysics. I started diving into the paranormal. Come to realize, well, when we were kids, we had these gray beings that were standing at the edge of our bed and had pulled the blanket off. Like, I'm having all these memories, and I talked to a family member about this, because this family member was with me when we were at that age.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah, I remember that, like, pulled us off the bed and they pulled the blanket. And I was like, do you remember the dolls too? Because the dolls, like, all these memories started flooding back in, because my grandmother, my Oma, she had a collection of porcelain dolls, and there were several of them. But this one was mischievous and feisty. And so both my brother and I developed a little bit of a fear of haunted dolls at the time when we were younger. Now, as an adult, and as a metaphysical worker, and as a healer, and as somebody who understands the paranormal and the practicality of, the skepticism, because I do believe in having a healthy skepticism when it comes to investigating. I don't, I do look for, like, where the wiring and that kind of stuff is, because I'm also a paranormal investigator.
You're debunking like anybody should. Yes.
Yeah. So that's still, like, a big thing for me. Right. But I really feel that it was that angel that instigated me to, pushed me in that direction, to where I was like, okay, I really want to do something that actually helps people. I think as a girl with, Stephanie's situation when she died, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have a very supportive system to help me figure it out. So I had to go on that journey on my own. and I see wonderful and frightening things at the same time. And it's not something that something that I, would ask for, but it is something that I've been given. And so I'm going to use it to help others.
Good. Now, did you figure out that, I don't know, I know people that, like myself, before I let myself be okay with the paranormal and the supernatural, I guess you want to call it, and that kind of stuff, I had very bad illnesses. I still have them, but they're not anything like they were. So have you found that when people accept like their path, or they find their path, that it tends to not just mentally make you healthier, but sometimes physically? Have you figured that out?
I would say it depends on the individual. I think that for some people that is true. I think for others, from a like mental state, yeah, I can see how it would definitely like strengthen someone. Physically, I think the physical and the mental are interconnected. So the body is definitely going to start doing better once you start doing better.
Yeah.
So I do think that is definitely something. I've known people that were natural, that have had these natural abilities since they were born. And so there was never really any difference. But when you're talking about someone who didn't really accept it in the beginning and then accepted it, yes, there's definitely a substantial change that I've seen in many people when they do.
It really does. Now let's see. Time has flown. We've gone 50 minutes. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I know. Raven and I can sit and talk on the phone or message in just hours, and it seems like 10 minutes. I don't know. So it's great. So anybody watching, I've tried to go down the list a little bit. Do you have a question that I haven't got to? Or Raven, have I missed something that you need to everybody to know about you? I feel like I've missed something, and for the life of me, I can't think of what it is.
I'm thinking about it too. I think what I would like to say is a couple things. Number one, please. If you have these natural abilities and you are someone who needs a little bit of assistance in getting more comfortable with those abilities, feel free to go ahead and message me. I'll help you through it to the best of my capacity. And if I don't have all the answers, which I sometimes don't, I will definitely send you in the direction of someone who I know can help, or I'll call and find out for you. The other aspects of this is learning to protect oneself is always important, no matter whether you're going to work or you're going to a paranormal location.
Yep.
I think also another important aspect would be not all mediums can do the same things. So for those of you that are looking to connect with a specific medium, there are some mediums that can see, but there are some mediums that can hear. Some that can feel, some that have certain tastes or smells that come to them. And so it just kind of depends on what you're specifically looking for. And if you're wanting a paranormal medium to come out, somebody that does mediumship and does paranormal investigating to come out, maybe ask them a little bit about how they work as an individual medium within the work that they do. For example, so I very much do mediumship, but I'm also very much in the metaphysical world. So I work with a lot of other metaphysical workers. And so I think that would maybe be important for anybody having specific questions about it.
Now, Marla had a question, and I think she might need to contact you personally about how much do you charge.
Yeah. So Marla, the best way to contact me is either through my email, which is themediumfrequency@gmail.com, or if you would like to add me on Facebook, it is Raven Wolfe with an E, and then you can send me a message there, because it depends on the kind of service that you're looking for.
Right.
And it also depends on the length of time and what we are specifically doing within that session.
Mhm. Yep, that's right. And I have, she has said stuff that I don't think she's ever realized that it clicked with me. Some little bitty, just with us talking about the show or stuff like that. And so she's good. I don't think she realizes how good she is, but one day, right? One day. And okay, let's talk about Salem for a minute, and then we're going to get back to see if anybody else has a question or if we have missed something. At Salem, will you be doing readings and other of your what you do? Are you doing that there?
Yeah, so at Salem, I will have mediumship sessions available, and that's usually about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If it is tarot that you're wanting, I can do 15 or 30 minutes. I would say for tarot, 15 minutes is more than enough. If you are wanting a past life reading, I can do that as well. I recommend about 30 minutes. We could try in a 15-minute session. Not sure 100% on that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Regressions I will not be doing at the event, because with a past life regression, you want quality one-on-one time with that person. So
In a quiet type space.
In a quiet space, because I am taking you back into that previous lifeline. And that is a little more involved. So we're looking at with past life regression, those sessions can last 2 to 3 hours depending on the person or individual.
Right.
So that's a little bit different. But then I will also have some of the medium frequency gear, as well as oils and cards and other fun, spooky things. I am in the process of writing a book. However, I'm not sure if it's going to be ready by the date of the 15th. But what I might do is have like a sign up for emails for people who are interested in the book once it is finished. I'm hoping to have it fully done by December.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Marla she's not like staying with us, but she's gonna be with our group. We know her, so
great.
she'll be wandering around and visiting everybody. But she's one of us. You'll be around her some. So Marla, that'd be a good idea. But if you want her before, if you can't for some reason get her, you know how to contact me and I'll get her. I actually referred somebody when I was at an event to you. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that? The lady was having a hard time about I believe her pet. Yes, it was her pet.
Yes. Okay.
And I don't know when she started talking, and she was having a hard time that day, and she started talking, and your name just in your face just popped in my head, and I said, I know somebody you need to talk to.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, that just and I think she was. Hopefully that you were able to help her, or if you couldn't, maybe you got her to somebody. I knew you would take care of her, so I had no doubt. So
now for those of you that are coming to the Salem Paranormal Conference, I am very, very excited to be able to be of service. But I'd also like to mention that Kenneth Drake will be there as well.
I'm excited.
Yeah, he is just incredible, and so I want to give him props. But also Christopher Brown is an amazing medium as well, and if you go to the last episode that I did, Christopher Brown was on that. They're both good friends of mine, so I would love to see you all. And I like to lift other people that are doing the same kind of work up, because there's more than enough for everyone. you know, when it comes to who you're drawn to, whether it's me or one of them or any other, you know, person that's there offering services of any kind of intuitive thing, like, you're not going to go wrong. So, yeah.
No, you're not. And they're the thing about Salem, it's the people are going to be there. There are so many, I want to say some are similar, but the personalities are different, and what they do is just in a different way.
Right.
So it's going to be great. I have not had the pleasure of meeting Kenneth in person yet. So I'm geeking out a little bit because I was expecting to see him in Connecticut, and he had some issues and he couldn't come. And then he was supposed to be at the Paranormal Rockdown the next weekend, and it was still the same thing. So I'm excited and I'm fangirling, and I hope he sees this because he'll laugh. He sends me messages sometimes and he'll laugh. So
honestly, like, he is one of the coolest people, genuine people that, like, as far as mediums that I have met from a lot of different areas, and I have a lot of good friends like that, right? But he's one of the good ones. That's what I'm trying to say. He's one of the good ones. He's one of the genuine ones.
Oh yeah. And of course, I always mention this. The CEO, the producer, she's the CEO with the network, Letriana Brown, or Letriana Terry Brown. She will be there. And she also does readings and stuff like that too. She has books and all. And, you know, we're going to be there. Charles, Rosenay, Thomas Gormley, help me, Raven. I know Michael. There's also Michael
Christy Maria is going to be there.
Yeah. It's on the commercial. I play it all the time, and I'm flaking out. But they are also going to have performers. And so I should have wrote this down, and I apologize.
Stacia will be there. Stacia Willis Wardruna.
Yep, and she is in the hospital sick right now. So even if you don't know her, send her some good energy. Say a prayer, whatever you do, because she's a good soul, and she's had some heart problems, and hopefully, cross your fingers and everything else and everything. And so Stacia, if you see this, I know she was looking at the last show. Everybody's rooting for you, honey.
We love you.
Really are. We are. There are so many talented people, people that I've never met in person. I've just met online, and it's so interesting when you get around people of like minds. It's almost like a family reunion, whether you've ever met them before. So if you come, which I hope you do, go around and talk to everybody. You know, don't just pick one person. Go talk to everybody, because there's lots of different things. I think they have some of the horror type thing. I need to get my list out, but Jane Stokes was on the show last week. He's a good guy. There's Letriana. Hey, honey. We were talking about Salem. Yeah, and we were talking, your ears were burning. We talked about you, but we were trying to tell everybody who all was coming to Salem and to show up and support. And there are just so many people. But come.
It's going to be busy.
It is. Because, it's a one-day event, and there's a lot of good people coming. There really are. I know Adam Ramos, who, if you meet him, he's like drinking some espresso. I hope he sees that, because he'll laugh too. I'm trying to think of all the names. Lee?
Hold on, I got my list right here.
She's smart. She actually wrote it down.
I got my phone, so I
there you go. There you go. But yes, it is November the 15th in Salem, and I can't remember. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Let me look on Thomas.
We have 4 people coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I think we do, don't we?
There's James Stokes.
Yep.
There is James Murtaugh, who was the Howling Cult. I can't say that word correctly. From the Night Stalker. Let's see. Who else we got here? I'm just going down the page here.
Oh no, that's
We got
fine.
that one. Let's see. There are so many others that are coming to this. Well, of course, Thomas and Charles are going to be the shaman and the showman.
Yes.
Stacia Willis, Wardruna. Here we go. Christy Marie.
Yes.
Let's see. Abandoned Alley Photography.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see who else we got here. I'm just rolling through it here.
Oh, you're fine.
Let's see here. Dystopia will be there. It's a live band, New England band, fusing heavy metal with modern rock, I think it is.
Interesting.
And are the Radicals are going to be there.
See?
I love the Radicals.
And I always mention them.
Yep.
They're going to be there. And they, I've actually got a Ouija board that they made. The network gave it to me, and I got to make sure Raven signs it if she hasn't already, because it's sitting over there. I can see it, but I can't see the signatures because no glasses.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, well, she will. I'm going to do my best. If I can get that thing on the plane, it's coming with. So
Ooh, I should note that the dancing witches of Old Salem are going to be there. That's a big deal. If you have not seen their performances and their dances before, that is going to be something definitely worth seeing.
Wow. Yeah. And I know we have Carl Johnson, who we had on one of the shows week before last. His brother Keith, I'm not sure who's going to be there.
Michael Roser is going to be there from Dark Hour Paranormal.
Yeah, we had a pre-record with him yesterday. And he's probably going to be a MC also. He's really, really great at that. I believe that's going to be a big part of his being there also. And he's super smart. So if you talk to him, put your nerd glasses on, because you're going to need them. He really is.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I can't wait to meet him. I have not met him before.
Oh, he was at Connecticut. I thought you met him. So, yeah.
I don't think so. Or if I did, I met him in passing. Oh, Andrew Warburton is going to be there. He's a folklorist researcher, and he's written 3 books. So that should be really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's see who else we got here. Rob Thompson is going to be there. That I didn't know that Rob was going to be there. If y'all haven't met Rob before, he is fantastic. I highly recommend him, and he's a good friend of mine too.
And he looks like a Viking. He's a big. He looks like a Viking. I don't know how else to put it. He really does. I got to meet him in Gettysburg. So that's great.
He's honestly really sweet. Nathaniel's going to be there, of course.
Nathaniel, don't smack me. Yes, Nathaniel is going to be there. Nathaniel Elwell, he has a show with us. Matter of fact, I'm his co-host. So he's really going to hurt me, Raven. I may have to hide behind you. No, I'm joking. And his girlfriend, Morgan. I love Morgan too. And we're trying to get her to come out more to the public side. So that's going to be great. Also, Rob's wife, if she comes, now she's awesome in her own. She really, and I'll be real with you, I can't remember her name, and I'm so sorry, but I got to meet her in Gettysburg also, and if she's there, you will see she's got her own specialness to her also.
I am trying to remember her name, and she is just the sweetest, but I can't remember.
We need to have her on one of your shows too.
I would love that,
because I know Rob's kind of I guess more well known, but she's also. I'm not joking. I was impressed.
Yeah,
I was very much impressed. So, who else do we have? You got your list up?
Yeah. So we have, and I'm adjusting on my little air couch here.
That's okay.
Danielle Taverna. She is an astrologer. She is also a medium. I've never met her before, but that's going to be really cool. It'll be nice to meet somebody new. To me, maybe not to everybody else. Christopher Brown, which we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
I'm just going down Tom's page.
No, that's fine. I don't even have that up. I have meant to write it down because, I would love to get a little podcast going
Matthew
and
Brown.
let everybody pop in. So look for that. I might try to get that going.
Matthew Brown is going to be there.
Well, unfortunately, I think Matthew is military, and I don't think he's going to be able to come. But if so, yay. If not, he will very much be missed because him and Lee are. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They're like brother and sister to me. They.
That's wonderful.
We are family. So yeah. But if you ever get to meet Matthew, excuse me, he's just, you can talk to him about anything, and he may not be like a psychic medium or that, but he's been married to Lee for 20 something years, so but he is very interesting. And I tell you what, his specialty is grounding and shielding. So if he doesn't get to come to this, I'm sorry, but if you ever get to come to anything that he's at, please talk to him about that. He is, I'm gonna say, expert at it, because he really is. He really
totally get that vibe from him too, from the Connecticut trip. Like,
yes,
definitely.
And he's so easy to talk to. He's this military guy, and he doesn't, of course, he doesn't read. But I'm telling you right now, he grounding and shielding is his thing. And if I will have him. We'll have to have him on your show too. He's been on several of the other ones, and of course, he's always supporting the network, and Lee, and even me. He supports all of us. So yeah,
I would love that.
Yeah, but if I would love for him to tell me tomorrow I'm coming, but I have a feeling that because of his work, he might not get to. I'm saying that we already know that he's not, but I want him to come. I know Lee does. Everybody enjoys him. So that's, if not, maybe we can get him on camera, and maybe he can talk to people. That would be awesome if he could do that. So
definitely.
Cool. So who else we got? Because I honestly can't remember.
We got Russ. It looks like Russ Silver, and Russ does.
Is it Stiver or?
It might be Stiver. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me scroll back to it.
Yeah, he's a very interesting guy too. I can't remember what all his specialties are, I say
Russ Stiver, and
Stiver.
he's a paranormal veteran and host of Compass of Curiosity's official podcast show.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Russ Stiver coming. Let's see, who else do we have here? You know who would be fun to get to come to one of the events in the future would be Larry
Eisler.
Yeah, it would be really cool to get him.
He does come to a lot of things, but yes, he is, Marla. He's a really good guy. Yeah, Larry, he was on Raven's show, and I'll be real with you, I've been on shows with him before. I've had him on our shows. I've had him on my show before I did my little thing, and I haven't started it back up. But he's so interesting. But I will tell you, the most relaxed I have ever seen him was on your show.
Really?
He relaxed. He joked. He had a good time. I think he genuinely had a good time. But that is the most relaxed I've ever seen him. He's a busy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Check his work out. I am envious because when I sit down to actually finish my little docuseries, I definitely am going to message him and say, man, please help. Help me out here. What do I need to do? He even said that. So that was very cool. So
yeah, I was going to say, I think he would be more than willing to help out. He has always been, kind of had that vibe of like wanting to help people.
He does. And he, honestly, if you haven't ever checked him out, do. So who else we got? Who we got on the list?
Adam Began.
Yep, that's who I was talking about. Adam's cool. Got a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. Scrolling down further here. Alex Mitsuo. Oh no, Mitsuo. I apologize for screwing up the name. Oh no, I lost it. I gotta go back and find it. Hold on.
I believe is she the one that has the dark
the dark hair.
Wait, I'm trying to think. Don't kill me. I can't remember there's so many people. I tell you what, so many and so different personalities and different things. And I want to say she actually has done some acting, but that may be the wrong one, so don't quote me on that.
No, I think you're right, because I think that's what I saw, but I'm like almost back to the post, so I'm
All right.
here to see. I can't believe I went right out of Thomas's page. I'm like, no.
It's very easy to do.
Right.
And I gotta tell Raven, I don't know if she got her hair redone, but for some reason tonight, it looks like you had it done today. It looks really great.
Thank you. I got it done like a couple weeks ago, but I found this new like stuff that I really like using to like keep it shiny and pretty. So I'm very.
Mine has, when I was on the road for so long, mine has had. I got to do a little work. So I have good hair, thank goodness. I'm blessed, but mine needs a little bit of work.
Yours looks pretty though. I like the color.
Well, thank you. It's just when you're on the road and you're not able to use I lost my shampoo and stuff and different water from different places. Yeah. So, did you find her?
I'm almost there. She's like still a tad bit. Like I went pretty far down on the page, so I'm getting there.
You got it. You got it, and I appreciate it. And I have to shout out to my people who follow every show on the network. Thank you so much. It's hard to say thank you, but we know we go out to more people than we think, because I get to go back and look at some of the numbers, and it's a big deal. And we are trying to grow bigger and better, not just bigger, but better. And we're trying to all get in our little, I guess you call it a little niche. And we all, it takes a minute. It does. It takes a minute. So Raven's trying to look. She lost her spot, which I am famous for doing.
Yeah, I just passed Adam, so I know she's coming. Okay, here we go. Paranormal. Right. Oh, come on. So there we go. She is scrolling back. Paranormal researcher and author, founder of the Association of Paranormal Study and Spooky Stuff.
Nice.
That's who she is. Nice. So we have her coming.
Hey, Chris.
And then, hello. Let's see who else we got coming. Scrolling. The Radicals. We talked about Danny and Lauren Perez.
Yeah, they will come in the hearse, and they'll have their coffin, and they'll have Ouija boards and other things. And they also have, I don't want to say so much haunted stuff, but that has energy on it. They have a fork from a serial killer that's pretty famous that they love to tell. But I would rather them tell you the whole story. So check them out.
They also have a book that they've written that's come out that if you get it, purchase it, buy it. We have Catherine Nadal, the witch and Reverend certified psychic medium.
Okay.
Let's see. We have a lot of different mediums that I get to meet on this one. Oh,
that makes it great.
There's another pet medium coming, and that's really cool. His name is Rob Gutro. Gutro.
Okay. He may have been added since our commercial, or maybe he's on it. Maybe I've seen it so many times that I missed it.
He's also an author.
Okay.
So pet medium and author.
Oh, yes.
Meeting him.
That would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, you guys, we have so many authors, not just personalities and not just psychics or anything like that. We have so many different things, people who do different things, and a lot of them have written books. So if you're into the books, even if you're not into the hard copy, or if you've already got one of their books, they will sign them for you. At least the ones that I know. I mean, we love our people who appreciate us,
We have Shannon Collins, who is a psychic medium, but is also a gothic model, which is cool. Hi, Kimmy. Welcome. Sorry. Sam Balstrus. Baltrus.
Sam Baltrusis.
Baltrusis.
I have to practice that. Yeah. Kimmy, we're talking about the Paracon in Salem, Massachusetts on November 15th. If you can make it, come on. I'm just saying that because you said hey. So we're going through most of the people that's going to be there. I think is that all of them? Did we go
No,
through?
we got Larissa Rex from 24 Hours in Hell.
Yep.
That will be there. Trying to see if there's any other. There's a lot. Kara Phillip is the creator and host of Paraflix's Intro into the Obscure.
Yes.
That will be there. There are so many. Carl Johnson, the demonologist.
Right. We had him on a show a couple weeks ago. They were very interesting and knowledgeable.
Leanna Renee Heber, who is Victorian historian and a best-selling author. I have had her books before. They are epic. Definitely check her out.
Nice.
Just in my opinion. Let's see here. Kenneth Drake. We talked about Kenneth. We talked about Lee being there.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, she was on Repossessed.
Yes. And that's on Hulu, Disney Plus, Apple TV. She's even on Netflix in Canada, which is basically Netflix in Canada. If they put something on there, it's coming. It's coming to the U.S., but you can find her. And most people go, oh, she's your best friend. She's your partner in the network. No, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen Repossessed, go see it. Go see it. You'll binge it after that.
So I don't see too many others that are currently as I'm scrolling, I don't see too many others, but I may have missed a few. So
that's okay. I'm gonna play the commercial again.
Yeah, keep in mind, everybody, that there are going to be many authors, many types of readers, many types of paranormal teams, and also they're doing a paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
So if y'all haven't hopped on that train yet, which I need to message Charles to do so for myself, you might want to do that sooner.
Yeah. They may have already been sold out, but they may not. So, I'm going to play the commercial again at the end of the show, which unbelievably we went an hour and 20, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. We don't have to hurry. But you guys, we were trying to get to know Raven, and we got off in at something that she's coming. But Raven, what do you have going on before then? Like this week, do you have anything special in the next couple of weeks before that?
I am at Pentagram this week. So if you are looking for readings with me, you can look up Pentagram Magic Shop here in Salem. It's on 282 Derby Street. It's across from the memorial. And so I will be there. I'm trying to think. I've been working and doing my health stuff a lot. So that's kind of what this week kind of holds. But next week, I feel like there's something next week that I'm doing.
Well, next week you also will have Thomas Gormley and Charles Rosenay on here, and they will be talking about the Salem Paracon also.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
They're
as far as me, I don't know.
Oh, it'll be great. So you guys, Raven is on Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and I will be real. I need clocks to go across here, and when my office gets right, when I finally get right, I will have those, but I can't remember the other times. But it is 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, every Monday night. And she's got lots of good guests coming. If you would like to be on her show or any of the other shows on the network, so sorry, let us know. We have great people, and we support each other and share, and we are on each other's shows, and hopefully New Year's Eve, just to give you a little heads up, I would like to have a show where all the people from the network come on for a little bit and just kind of get together, because if you don't know, most of us are far apart.
Yeah.
Most of us are. I think Lee and I and Matt, of course, are the closest one. I mean, we see each other a lot, and we're half an hour up the road. But I think most of us are, I can't think of anybody that's any closer. Chris, who's on here, she's in Texas. We've got people in New England. We've got people in other places too. But yeah, check it out. I know Raven, she's awesome, and we just got started. So look for her on Spotify and some other stuff too that we're going to get her on. I don't know. Did we miss anything that you wanted to talk about? I think I did pretty good with all your the things you do, and thank you for sharing with us. Thank you.
I think it's I think what I gave was pretty much a good idea of a beginning of what I can do. So yeah.
And she loves to help. And she honestly, I've never heard a bad report. I've talked to people who've had her readings, and she said stuff to me and not realize she read me, or maybe she did. I don't know. And it clicked. Yeah, she hasn't yet. So, yeah. And if you need to get in touch with her, of course, Raven Wolfe, WOLFE. Please don't let me spell that wrong. And of course, you can look her up on The Medium Frequency. She's all over All Access Network, and my page, of course, which is Gwen Johns. There's only one. This face, but made up better at a better picture. And of course, mine with Chucky Doll, which I love so much, I'm not taking that down. So you will find me, and I can get in touch with her, or whatever you need. Also, we would rather you just not just contact her, but come out to Salem, come out to anything that she's at. And I don't know her calendar for next year. I don't even know my own. But hopefully we can get her out to a lot of things next year, so you can come out in person and meet her. And she's got a book coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. I better get one that's autographed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Nathaniel actually has a book out also that I need to get a copy of, or either order one and get him to autograph it. And Lee has like 9, I think.
He had a book.
Yeah, Lee's got lots of books. Yeah, she you guys, when you come out to Salem, or if you're interested in somebody that's coming there or anything else, just people are. It's almost like some people are afraid to reach out to you. Reach out. The worst somebody can say to you is, I don't do that on here, or but reach out, and that kind of thing. So, Raven, what you want to tell everybody? Anything else? I've kept you an hour and a half almost.
That's pretty much it. Make sure you come out November 15th if you can to the Salem Paracon. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Next week we have Charles and Thomas, the shaman and the showman, who are holding the event for Salem Paracon. So it's going to be a fantastic show. And then the following week after, we're going to have Stacia, Willis, or Druna.
I think it's Wills. Am I saying
Wills?
Yes, it is. Stacia, I'm sorry. I know I get it a little mixed up in my head too. Yep, we're going to have that. And then I can't remember after that if we have somebody booked yet, but we always do the advertisements.
I have my intentions when we go to the conference to talk to certain people.
Yes, she does. So yeah, tune in, and hopefully you'll be a regular. Let's say it like that. Hopefully you'll be a regular. So all right, guys. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for commenting, or even if you just listened. Any of that is wonderful, and we appreciate it very much. And tell this sweet lady here good night, and I'm going to let her just tell you guys good night, and then we're just going to just end it. So go ahead, lady. Tell them good night.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining the Medium Frequency. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.